CBT News celebrates 12 years of delivering news, content, coaching, and analysis to the retail automotive community. You're watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining us here on another edition of Inside Automotive right here at cbtnews.com. Joining us now to reflect on December sales and review 2024 and share his insights on what lies ahead is Tyson Jominy, Vice President of Data and Analytics at J.D. Power. There's a company that I know that you know. So thank you, Tyson, for joining us on the show today.
Thanks for having me back, Jim.
Sure. We've been doing these for so many years now. You know, we just celebrated our 12th anniversary, and I remember doing interviews with you, I think, 12 years, the last 12 years. So thank you for all of that great content and giving our viewers the updates that you do. So let's jump right in. Looking at back at December, talk to us about new vehicle sales.
Well, I don't know if everyone's ready to hear this number, but the SAR that's expected for December when all the sales are counted here at the end of the month is going to be 17.2 million. Like the good old days, they're back again, right?
Wow.
Some amazing growth to end the year.
Oh my gosh.
Perhaps stronger than any of us could have imagined. So
we're
very strong growth.
We're back in the 17s. Wow.
Enjoy it while we got it. Yeah, exactly.
That's fantastic. But wait a minute. I heard about all these dealers that have got piles of inventory and car sales are tough and average price of a new car is astronomical. And, you know, the economy isn't doing well right now in a lot of people's eyes and inflation. How could we hit 17.2 million vehicles?
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's just 1 month. So, you know, bear in mind our overall expectation for the year is right between 15.8, 15.9 million sales. So, you know, the month was an anomaly. It's the best month we've had in 3 years.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of consumers out there. I mean, perhaps some were waiting for the election to be over to repurchase their vehicles. Perhaps there even is a slight uptick due to, hurricane vehicle replacement. But,
good point.
The reality, I mean, we've seen some federal rate cuts here, and I think once the rate cuts started is when we really started to see demand pick up. We had a one at the very end of December as well, which would make it, a full point for the year. So things are trending in the right direction, and I think that's helping consumers feel a little more confident.
Yes, consumer confidence is up, and I would agree with you for all of those same reasons, which is interesting because many F&I managers that I talked to said that they haven't necessarily seen this drastic drop in rates for cars, but I think consumers right away think, oh, the rates are coming down, let me go in and buy a car, only to learn that, no, the rates haven't necessarily come down on car sales yet, right?
Well, we saw the buy rates certainly front run the Fed. So rates were dropping well ahead of Fed actions, which seemed to have been baked in. In fact, maybe they were a little late. So we did see rates drop. So when you see the Fed make a movement, what the dealers are going to buy for, maybe that isn't changing because it's already dropped. But to consumers, seeing that rates are down is a signal that things are getting stronger and it's a time to get out there.
That's right. And they feel better about their own jobs and the economy and home prices and things. So I could totally see that. Where does the average new vehicle retail transaction price stand as of today?
Well, the good news is that we are still seeing transaction prices fall. I mean, we're seeing transaction prices here right around $45,000 to end the year. They've been falling really for about a year and a half. On a transaction price basis. So the amount that consumers are getting net of incentives and all dealer discounting is down. But the challenge here is that consumers really experience affordability through their monthly payments, and those continue to rise. In fact, we're seeing record all-time monthly payments, despite the fact that transaction prices have been falling for 18 months.
And why is that, do you think?
Well, there's really two factors going. I mean, one, we're seeing higher MSRPs all the time. Automakers continue to take MSRP increases. At the same time, consumers are getting less for their trade-in values. Therefore, their equity is falling. And that is not helping to offset, what we're seeing very positive incentive movements from automakers. The manufacturers are adding incentives now, $3,200 a unit. Dealers continue to discount, unfortunately, probably for, those listening here, the amount that dealers are making on the front end of every vehicle continues to fall and is quickly approaching pre-COVID levels. So despite all that, these MSRP increases and the lack of trade equity are washing that out. And monthly payments now are over $740 a month.
$740. My God, you got to make $1,000. The first $1,000 that you earn as a consumer goes to just paying for your car payment on average, right? These are crazy times, and yet
added fuel,
in insurance and what have you. But so that's crazy. However, that being said, December was a great month.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as we started with, December was 17.2 million SAR. So again, we do have a lot of pent-up demand, particularly among like Japanese intenders. So all the Japanese dealers out there know Toyota and Honda have more or less been sitting on the sidelines still until recently. They're starting to get a lot of inventory. And when Toyota gets inventory and when Toyota can sell vehicles,
watch out.
They sell a lot of vehicles.
That's right. Yeah, there's no question about it. And what a great franchise. But what are you anticipating for this year, 2025, and when it comes to sales and affordability?
Yeah, so 2025, we expect sales to be up again. We're thinking somewhere around 16.2 million for the year. So a growth of 300,000 to 400,000 ish heading into next year. We haven't quite nailed it down. That's why I'm only speaking here in ishes. But we expect some positive growth there. And again, we do expect affordability to continue to be the biggest talking point for the industry in 2025 as well. We do know with the new administration, there may be additional challenges to affordability coming. We know that tariffs are talked about very frequently. And we know that at the same time, the $7,500 IRA funds for EVs is likely to go away as well, both of which will put additional challenges into there for affordability.
Fantastic. So overall, good news for dealers then right now. I mean, you're forecasting another great year.
Yeah, I mean, dealers are doing very well with volume, and it continues to be a game where inventory is rising. So when you start to see inventory rising, as a dealer, be as quick as you can to get rid of it, because we do see that a lot of manufacturers continue to produce, and sometimes more than they need. Right. But it looks like it's going to be a good year overall. Grosses will continue to probably fall in 25. I mean, it's just the nature of the game. So if you know that ahead of time, you can make preparations, do better in the F&I office. That's right. Do better as well on your used side. Yeah, exactly. Right. And service lanes as well. That's right. So there's other ways to make money. But again, the front end dealer grosses are likely to go back to pre-COVID levels next year.
Wow. And how about leasing? Are we seeing an increase in leasing? Is that back to where it was before COVID?
We are nowhere near where we need to be for leasing. So you talk about dealers in the Northeast and South Florida and California that rely on leasing and that steady flow of lease customers. Due to what happened in 2021 and into 22, when we ran out of vehicles, we ran out of leasing too. So we don't have that wave of lessees coming back to market, 3-year-old off-lease vehicles. We're just not seeing that right now. So we're trying to build. We're doing better with leasing than we were, but we are still somewhere about 22 to 24% lease, depending on the month. In the old days, it was 31 to 33. So we still have, nearly 8 to 10 percentage points of lease growth still ahead of us. And that would probably be coming more likely 26, 27.
Okay. Wow. Fantastic. That's good news, though, overall for dealers. So Tyson Jominy, Vice President of Data and Analytics at J.D. Power, thank you so much for stopping by, and look forward to hearing from you each month in 2025.
All right. Thanks, Jim.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.